Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today I am just doing a very quick little shop tip. So hope you guys like this video, and I'm going to flip you around and show you what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Here's my little quick shop tip. So some time ago, John Switzer at Black Bear Forge did a little video on his little setup on how to take and make your bandsaw stand upright. And so I went ahead and did that. Took kind of some of his suggestions and kind of took his basic precepts, and I made my own little stand. Now this has been a great little stand, but I have encountered one difficulty and one issue that I would like to point out. So these little porta bandsaws are meant to be cut in the horizontal position. That means they get cut like this, okay, versus a vertical position. They're not obviously intended to be a vertical bandsaw. That being said, there is no relief point back down through here for any of your chips to fall out of once this thing becomes full. See, so this is completely sealed off, so the chips go nowhere. Now what that does for you is it wears out your bandsaw. I just had to take and replace the bandsaw blade on this, and it's because it kind of overheated a little bit and it was making a squeaking and a squealing noise. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's a bearing dry or something like that. And today, I hadn't been using it in a while. I said, well, you know what? Today, before I got to use it, I'm going to go ahead and see if I need to fix this. Well, I open it up, and lo and behold, this was just chocked full from about here all the way down through here. It was just packed full of shavings. Enough shavings, in fact. I don't know if you guys can see those in there. I mean, there's probably almost a pound of shavings in that bottom of that cup. It looks a little weird because this is on the wide angle mode. But there was about a pound of shavings and cutoffs in here that had accumulated, and that's what wore out the old blade. So, just wanted to take and do a little quick shop tip that way, that, you know, if you do have this set up, to clean your shavings regularly. I don't do that often enough. Sometimes I'm in the mode of getting work done and getting customers' orders out the door, and I don't really pay attention to maintenance as well as I should. On another note, here's a bonus clip for those. So we're going to go over here. Excuse the mess, just got back from doing a demonstration up at Sofa. A lot of people have been asking, have I broken my power hammer again? And yes, I have. As you can clearly see, it's definitely broke about right there. Now, why is it broke? Well, I was torture testing it. I wanted to see how far I could push it to its limits, and the welds of a spring, after you weld up a spring, will be able to take and hold. Now, I was running this machine outside of its limits. That means the deflection of this machine I had running clear up at the top of its stroke as high as it could whip it, and come down and finish as low as it could whip it. And that put enough strain on that back point beyond the pintle here for the weakest point to snap. Like you would figure it would be, the weld would be the weakest point, joining two high spring steels together with just a bead of electric weld, like mild steel weld. Now, these have been preheated, and I've showed how to do that before, but this is just a good place to point out. I'm going to end up welding this spring back like it's been in the past, and it will work just fine in a normal mode, in a normal operation mode, with me setting the height adjustment correct for what I'm doing and not pushing it beyond its capabilities. If that's the case, then, you know, you won't probably break a spring in probably a whole nother year or so before something else breaks down the line. And at that point, I probably will just replace the spring and get another good 2 years of service out of it before, again, you'll have to do some maintenance and replace the spring. These are old trailer springs, and so they get a lot of use. I haven't done anything with these trailer springs other than make them for my application. And so, you know, they've been used a lot for hundreds of miles, probably long before they ever got to the use of a power hammer. So if next time, starting with brand new springs, I will probably not have as much difficulty with this. Now, that was the other thing that somebody had asked. What about a cage or guard? What are you going to do if that spring comes out and hits you on top of the head? And I would like to point out the very way that this thing is designed, that is not really a physical possibility. This here goes through these rollers like so, and it's trapped there. It's trapped at this point back here, and it's also got another anchor point here. In order for this spring to come out and hit me with this setup, the way that it's anchored at 3 points, it would have to completely break loose of 2 separate points and flip a chunk out. And even at that, you should be standing in a proper orientation to the power hammer, which is the orientation to the dies. And I'm not up here with my face this close to the power hammer when I'm running it. I'm actually quite a bit back. So the odds of that actually ever happening, very slim to almost none. Now, can it happen? Yes, it can. It can happen to the best of us. Little giant power hammers, they were notorious for having that front eccentric, that spring right there to bust out and knock you right on the noggin. And that's why you'll see a bunch of face plates put across them, is to prevent that from happening. In fact, I've heard firsthand accounts of people who it's happened to. So, yes, in that case, if you have a forward-facing spring and your face is going to be somewhere in there, go ahead and get that taken care of. But in this particular case, this is bound in 3 points, and its general operation is in this up and down rotation. It's not out this way. The give point's not out this way. It's just straight up. And usually, like I said, it's going to snap closer to around your eye bolt. It may snap here and flick out, and you may have a piece jettison here, but once again, it's trapped by a lot of different pieces here. So I just kind of wanted to point that out there as a method of safety. If you build one of these machines or you build my main shop power hammer, go ahead and make sure, maybe you do want to weld up some guards here or something to protect yourself from that. Go right ahead. Do whatever you feel would make you feel safer. Anyways, so that's it for that. Didn't really mean to get into all that, but it was a question that was asked. I figured instead of making a whole nother video about it, I would just drop it in this video. So that's it for today on that. I just wanted to share out this little helpful tip here. I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And like I always say, God bless you, and we will catch you on the next one.